Hello all, and welcome to my updates with the Ben of Kent Proton pack. I thought I'd show you the modifications that I've done to my Spengler Wand, because the Spengler Wand is the one that's going to be attached to the Bock Proton pack, which you've seen in the last couple of videos. So I thought I'd give you a little update on some of the modifications I've done to this. I'm not going to go into the greater detail by actually taking this apart. There are plenty of other YouTube videos which you'll see online about taking the Spengler Wand apart and actually doing the audio mod. So I'll just, if you haven't done this before, I'll just explain what it is without taking the whole thing apart. So if on the bottom, once you've taken off all the basic screws, you have to pull all these lugs out. These are all empty spaces now. If you've got a Spengler Wand, you'll see there's plastic kind of grommets in those places. You've got to pull them out. Recommend maybe using a little hook or a screw just to screw it into there and then pop them out. You've got 4 on there, and there's a couple underneath this plate. This is the Ben of Kent connector to get onto the pack. So once you've taken those off, you'll get into the internals and you'll see in there. Now this is the position where the speaker is on the Spengler. You might just about make out the speaker grill inside there. So the sound comes out of here. So what you basically have to do is run a cable connecting 2 parts of the 2 speaker outputs, cable into there and run it out through there. Now I've done a similar kind of modification that some have done, because it is quite difficult to run. If you don't want to take the whole thing apart, the way I've done it is just run a little drill through from the main unit here into the battery compartment, so it runs in there. It's hard to see if you were just carrying it around, but I'll probably end up just finishing off that with some black paint just to let it blend in. But you can see the cable in there. So run it through the end there. You'll see here I have replaced the end kind of handle at this end, because if you get the Spengler Wand, it does have a green rubber thing. If you take the green rubber off, it's basically a big chunk taken out of the handle. So I replaced this with a 3D print that I obtained. Actually, Elliot had some spares, so I got one of those. But it's a 3D printed handle. I've also sprayed it with the truck bed liner that I've used on the pack, just to give it a bit of, like, you know, if it was made from the same place, you know, you might be using some of the same kind of spray paint. Also off Amazon, got some of this green tape. It is quite, you get it in rolls like this, so it's a roll of green tape. It's hard to see in there, but you can see the green tape there. So I wrapped that around once I've got the 3D printed, attached that, screwed it, well, didn't screw it in, there's a lot of glue in there, but a lot of them, I think there's some hot glue underneath there. I didn't want to put too many screws in there, because if you screw it too far in there, you're hitting the battery pump. Yeah, you are hitting the battery compartment. So you don't want screws just taking up the void inside here. So wrapped up, 3D print, wrapped up with tape, just to bring it that way. Now at the end here, there's the void where you've got the batteries that actually go into it. Now you notice at the end here, if anyone plays a guitar or has an amplifier, this is the end of a microphone and amplifier cable. So I took the fairly decent cables from a microphone cable, took that and connected the 2 ends into the speaker at that end. I then, at the moment this is super glued in. I'm going to add some hot glue around the space around the outside just to keep it in, because if it's going to be in and out a lot, I don't want the super glue to just come loose or break off. So this is separate. I did also take a lot of the excess around the end of the Spengler Wand off. So I've reduced it down to just this little screw in bit, and you notice it's quite easy. If you just reduce it down to that, you've just got these two sides. So I think there's a screw in the middle you can take out, and I have used the not the blank plate, the one that you get with a Spengler that has basically got the rubber hose connector on it. So I've attached that. So the XLR, this is an XLR connector, so cable's gone in there, a bit of hot glue just to support it out to the end here. So there's an XLR, so that you can then, if it's fixed into place, you can then with one hand, it says switching hands, you can just screw that home. There we go. So you end up with quite nice connector on the end here. I feel it's better than the using the jack. I know some people use jack cables running out on just a thin cable. I like to use this than the jack because this does actually have built in as part of the microphone. It does have the clip, so it actually clicks in. So if you run the cable, you've got the male at this end, you've got the female at the other end, and you just click them home, and this little connector there actually clicks in. So the only way you've got to do it is make sure it's secured at the speaker end, secured inside the back of the pack, however you've connected it into your amplifier, and I just find that's handy. Also, this way it means that I can actually put this on display if I wanted to. I just need to disconnect it from, just unclick it from the pack and put it on its stand that comes with the box. So yeah. And also, just to note, I'll just unscrew this out again. There's enough. It's making sure there is enough, and if I don't put this in upside down, there we go. It actually slides in, and as long as that's flat, it will. Excuse me a second. It will provide enough push on the batteries to be able to turn it on. So there we go. So there we go. Okay, here we are at the connecting end. So we've got the Proton pack connector is cable tied and very roughly put like this. I do like the fact that it's very put together, just like all the Ghostbuster stuff. I'm not really bothered about making it look exact. It is my pack. It's got some elements of the Spengler stuff on it, like the tape and everything, but I just find that this is really handy with the XLR because it's possible to connect and disconnect it quite easily without having it sitting on the pack. So it can sit on the pack if it wants, or I can disconnect it and put it on its stand and display it. So here we are at this end. The pack is actually powered up at the moment and the amplifier's on. So I'm going to show you there. We've got the connectors there. Put that in. Click it home. There we go. So you'll see that's the connector there. The audio's connected. So all I need to do now is power up the Spengler. And hopefully you can hear the noise of the pack in the background. Everything's there. There we go. And that's it. So with the XLR connector on there, it just makes it easy to connect and disconnect. Again, press the little metal notch on the other side. It's hard to do with one hand, you really need two hands. There we go. And there we go. So that could work independently if I wanted it to. Could get it displayed, and it's a real secure connection. Just to show you the pack attached, so we've got it up there, and that's the connection there. So it looks not too bad. You could, if you wanted to, you know, maybe extend some of this or have another piece of the split loom to cover that section, but I like the roughness. I mean, the normally that would extend a bit further up, but I do like the kind of put together kind of roughness of the whole kit. It's supposed to be, you know, thrown together, so it does look like it's been used for a bit. Hope that's useful. See you soon.